What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and I just finished up watching Jermall Charlo versus Juan Macias Montiel, and this was a 12-rounder for the WBC Middleweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, June 19th from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, and this fight was broadcasted on Showtime, and in this fight, Jermall Charlo was able to get a unanimous decision victory over Juan Macias Montiel. I personally scored about 116 to 112 in favor of Jermall Charlo. And just to break down how the judges scored about, one judge had a 120-108, which in my eyes was a little too wide. The other judge had a 119-109, and one judge had a 118 to 109. Just to break down the fight, the first half, it was all Charlo. Charlo was hurting Juan Macias Montiel punch after punch. He was wobbling him, backing him up, and easily winning the fight. But then in the second half, or should I say in the 8th round, Jermall Charlo got hit with a beautiful combination from Montiel, and Charlo got buckled. He got hurt. He was backing up. He took a huge, slow step, and then Montiel landed a big uppercut. That's where he was really, really hurt. And that makes me ponder, how would he react by getting hit from a Triple G or a Canelo, guys that really follow through and have tremendous head movement, defense, and know how to counter. Unlike Montiel here, who was switching stances and didn't really know what he was doing in the first half. But when Charlo started to sort of sink into the fight and realize that he was the sort of dominator here, and he thought he was comfortable in there. But then Montiel, when he first landed a shot, that hurt Charlo, because in the first half Montiel didn't land anything, and Charlo was comfortable. When he was comfortable, Montiel hit him and put him back into reality. And then I actually gave Montiel rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11, and he could have given him the 12th round as well. But Montiel was just landing shots on Charlo, landing beautiful combinations. I think 120-108 was a score that was made before the fight. I just don't think there's any way you could have scored that 120-108, because Charlo was hurt in that 8th round. There's no way you could have had that score. 119-109, I believe it was. That's if you give all of the rounds that Montiel could have won, where he did land beautiful combinations on Charlo, or should I say, yeah, he gave him to Charlo, even though Montiel did land the better and harder shots in those rounds. But, when I looked over social media and stuff like that, many people had it 117, 111, 116, 112. I've seen some people who had it 115, 113. But Jermall Charlo, what is next for him? This performance was way different than many people actually thought, because he had a swollen eye going into it. He got cut for the first time ever. His eye did swell up, and imagine if Montiel did come on like this early on in the fight. He could have stopped or really hurt Charlo, because he really did put a beating on Charlo in some of those rounds. But Jermall Charlo, as I said before, did control the first half of the fight. He did hurt Montiel multiple times, and I thought he was going to stop him like I did predict, but that did not happen. Montiel did show a tremendous chin. He took a lot of great shots from Charlo. And I was surprised. I thought he would get knocked out fairly early on, because he did get stopped in the second round by Jaime Munguia. But as I said before, what is next for Jermall Charlo? Personally, I think Triple G, Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez all beat him viciously. From this fight, Montiel, who's a fighter who's lost 4 times, was able to hurt Charlo and almost stop him in that 8th round and land some great shots on him. So imagine if a Canelo Alvarez was landing body shots like Montiel was tonight, and headshots, uppercuts, hooks, whatever. And Triple G, imagine how he will be able to walk down Charlo, because Montiel was able to in that 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th round. But in my opinion, Charlo fought the wrong fight here. He should have countered him. He should have countered Montiel all night. He should have backed up, fought off the back foot, land beautiful shots, but he tried to get that knockout, and he tried to fight Montiel's fight by slugging with him in front of his hometown fans to get that crowd roaring knockout. But that did not go his way. Obviously, he shouldn't have fought that way. He should have countered and fought technically, and he could have stopped Montiel that way if he could have countered him just like Munguia did. But I think Charlo is going to fight not any of those guys that I listed, either Canelo or Triple G or Andrade. He's not going to fight those guys. I just don't see that happening. I can't really name any specific fighters that I think he's going to fight. Obviously, there's guys up there like Chris Eubank. They were talking about possibly fighting. I don't think that's going to happen. There's Ryota Murata. He's possibly fighting Triple G. Andrade possibly. I don't really think that's going to happen. They did talk a lot about that after Andrade did beat Liam Williams. So I would say out of the top guys in the middleweight division, I think the next fight for him could be Demetrius Andrade, and I did hear them talking about possibly putting David Benavidez against Jermall Charlo, but obviously Charlo did chicken out by saying that he's not fighting anyone younger than 25 years old. So overall, Jermall Charlo did get a good victory here, but he did have to go through some adversity. But what is next for Juan Macias Montiel, who did lose here, getting his 5th defeat? I mean, he's still up there, in my opinion, in the top 15 in the middleweight division. I mean, he put on a good performance for those couple of rounds he won, in my opinion, and that he did hurt Charlo. So I think he should fight someone top tier in the middleweight division. I wouldn't mind seeing him against an Emmanuel Aleem, or after Aleem does fight Vidal, I wouldn't mind seeing him against Vidal if Vidal does get that victory. So, yeah, I would love to see him fight someone top tier, top 20, top 15 in the middleweight division. Maybe a Dennis Hogan, even though he's coming off that loss to Tim Tszyu. So overall, as I said before, Jermall Charlo is able to get a unanimous decision victory over Juan Macias Montiel to get his 32nd victory and to defend his WBC title for the 4th time. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.